What's up, wrestling fans? We are back again. Sorry, I just found this and I wish they would go back to that. That's like the greatest theme ever. No, Gary?
No, yeah, definitely like the full on version of it.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry. That came out of nowhere. I have a whole big setup here. We're gonna get to Gary in a minute. This is Discuss TNA Impact Wrestling. I'm JaySin here with the Horror King Gary, who you just heard. He has his own channel, which should be linked above. We'd like to start out by doing something weird, giving a quick thank you to our listeners who stuck through some crazy shit, which it turns out we were mostly correct about. I'd like to personally thank Talon, the owner of TNA Asylum, who allowed me to comment on his site. And even if it was one time and he throws me off, I appreciate that. And, we had some shit, but kind of like we had with other people, but he's an adult and we spoke. And that's all. I'll get back to that soon. He's worked, I don't know how long that site's been going on, many years. There's no ads. He can easily have ads if he wanted to make money. He doesn't. Unlike other places I could mention that I'm not going to. So I don't know. I had some bullshit. It was stupid personal bullshit, but whatever. It's a great site and everyone should check it out. Also, the new subscribers, which we're getting all kinds of apps and likes and craziness because we're on like every app out there. We're not always right, but we're honest, unlike many other podcasts, one of which we ran the creators off, and the remaining host's wife apologized profusely on their behalf. One of the most pathetic things I've ever witnessed in my life. Really quickly, can you imagine using your wife or girlfriend to apologize for anything you did in your life where you fucked with someone and you messed up? No. My quickie videos have done better than expected. Those are only on YouTube for any podcast listeners. I made two. And quick announcement, my good friend and super fan Richard Robles will be popping on some of those going forward, so congrats to him. He's got crazy, cool ideas. It's going to be fun. Okay, back to No Surrender. Gary, crowd.
Oh, the crowd. Yeah, it was very well lighted, if that's such a word. I've noticed like
Lit?
I noticed a very much like more colorful as well. I felt like the time that we had that month away, the production upgrades have really stood out on No Surrender. Probably I don't know. I'd put it up there with a lot with the Hard to Kill pay per view in terms of look, but I thought it was even brighter than Hard to Kill.
I agree. Gary's much better with all that production stuff, and I think there was another tunnel there. I'm sure you like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I hate what I don't like about it though is the minute the camera pans on it, you can see who's coming through the tunnel a little too easily. This
I
week,
see, yeah.
this past month, they did a little bit better with it. I noticed they kind of stuck some black curding, you know,
Well, it's kind of
around.
interesting. So the lighting got so good that maybe that got too good, and they got to kind of fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I thought the crowd was awesome. Surprisingly, they were pretty loud for a lot of things. Shockingly, not for the Josh match, which our friend Christian Thompson pointed out, like maybe the first match in a long time where his match wasn't the best match of the pay per view, and like the crowd was seriously kind of dead for it, unlike a lot of other matches. And you can blame Gotch for that, but whatever. We'll get to that match. We got a bit of a schedule. We're gonna do TNA news after I talk some shit, which I did. Then the review, maybe a mailbag question popped in there. We also do grades from other people. And we're going to start off with news, like always. So it was there's a report of backstage reactions from talent who met with Anthem this meeting, this meeting, this weekend because of, what happened with Scott and all that. So Fightful Select reports the general consensus was that nobody wanted the roster to abandon the hard work they've done collectively, even if they aren't in agreement about the Scott thing. One top name within TNA was reportedly looking to leave the company as a result of the move, and apparently decided to work the taping and see how the meeting went before going with anything that extreme. I'm not sure what. I think that was written by someone else because hang on, I have this twice. Yeah, somebody else said it was Fightful Select reported that top name in TNA who was reportedly looking to leave the company decided not to, and they're happy now. So I don't know. Sorry, I don't have Fightful Select. Send me a goddamn thing, SAP, and I can actually read your information instead of secondhand from idiots. But that's the thing, and it's not Josh, because they already did the thing about Josh. I mean, any ideas, Gary? Who it could be?
Well, we were talking
Jordan?
over a little bit. Yeah, that would probably be a good choice. I don't know. I wonder too if maybe I'm not saying it's PCO, but I mean he is Canadian born and like
Well,
Scott.
I know, but they're saying top TNA star.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is it possible it could have been PCO? Maybe I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true. This is pro wrestling journalism, which isn't really a thing. So yeah, they could call anyone a top TNA star. I don't know, but whatever. They changed their mind, so that's good. Steve Macklin did a interview. I think this is like 10 days old, but Fightful just posted it, and like the actual interview was 10 days old, but Fightful did like the write up today about it. And the headline is: the locker room in TNA keeps getting better and better. It's family oriented, and this was after Scott was gone. So good news there. Good news there. Sadly, we have no news on ratings. That hasn't been a thing in a few weeks. We do have. Oh shit! Here's a good one. Damn. Good timing. Austin Aries on WrestleZone. Shit, Gary, you can live react to this one. Austin Aries says he has unfinished business in TNA and would love a match with Trey Miguel.
Oh wow, yeah, this would be amazing. I think we mentioned on the podcast a couple weeks back that like was Scott and now Don Callis was gone quite a while ago, but with both gentlemen gone and doing their own thing, we were saying that we thought Austin Aries would be
Wow, you literally said
maybe
that
coming
last
back to
week.
the company.
Yeah, again, anyone go back and listen. Gary said this last week. And I
Oh,
was like,
was it last week? I
what the
couldn't
hell?
remember.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking, like, where the hell did he pull that out of his ass?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was a week before. I didn't want
But
to,
ready? This started with Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel said on Twitter, itching for a chance to wrestle Austin Aries. We met when I was a 17-year-old fan getting an autograph on a TNA program that I still have this to this day. I think it's time. Now, this totally might be set up and it's happening, because then Aries writes back, I'd love to. While I'm a much different person in a different place than I was 5 years ago, I still have my gas left in my tank. And coincidentally, I feel like I have some unfinished business left in TNA. Let's see what the universe has in store.
wow, that's cool. Anybody know what Low Key's up to?
Yeah,
How
well,
come coming back either?
yeah. I mean, let's not get too crazy, Gary. We just got an Austin Aries possibility, which would be, I mean, God, he's one of my favorites ever. I know he did some. I know he like
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, at the time, I kind of was like down on him for his attitude and his behavior, but like, I mean, he's kind of right. Like, who paid more dues to TNA? Johnny, what do they call him? Johnny Impact.
Oh no, yeah, totally.
He just came into the company, and Austin Aries is given his life's blood to the company. Probably for over a decade or more altogether. And I mean, I kind of get his point too. And we found out later that Don Callis is not the easiest man to work with, and we obviously know that somebody out at Anthem really didn't see the error of Scott's ways, or he'd still be with the company.
Exactly. Also, what's the word? Whatever, I can't think of it. Sorry, I was looking for something. Okay, last piece of news: Nick Nemeth, TNA star, won the IWGP Global title and will now defend it against Hiroshi Tanahashi at NJPW Sakura Genesis coming up. So cool for Dolph, cool for TNA. They got that out there.
Yeah, he defeated David Finlay at the New Beginning in Sapporo. I don't know where that is. I guess it's some in Japan.
Look at this nerd over here. Sorry, I didn't know you watched New Japan.
I've glanced at it here and there. I didn't see the news with Nick Nemeth. I just saw that online, but like I have glanced at it a little bit after Impact just to kind of, because I'm going to be honest with you, Jay, I'm a little envious of their staging.
Oh, yeah, I say it all the time, and like that's like one thing I don't mind because like we could be jealous about things. It's like honesty, Christ. They also announced Mike Bailey versus Steve Macklin for this week, but we can get to that stuff later. We'll see.
Speaking of, you said Speedball. Is that who you
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here. I'm really not liking the way they've been booking him, losing here and there, like have him be like against
Well,
Zachary
be
Wentz.
careful you don't say anything spoilerish. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I mean I agree, but I mean that was Scott's booking. It is what it is.
yeah, yeah.
We'll see what happens now. I mean, I've read some people at Asylum or someone at Asylum said they kind of do this in blocks, so it's like 1 month
That's
or
fair.
so it's like they would still be using Scott's booking for these tapings and maybe even sacrifice because it's like there and you can't really. I mean, you can't change like an entire everyone's booking in a month. Like you just can't.
Yeah,
So
it might take several cycles of tapings
yeah,
before
it's okay.
truly see the impact, pun intended, of Scott leaving. So
Son of a bitch, that's a bad pun. Okay, no Himanshu this week, so we got Thomas Hall, who also does it weekly. I should probably give him more respect, but um, actually, no, not weekly. Only Himanshu does it weekly. Hall pops in every now and then, or if he doesn't, I don't know. Whatever, not the point. He gave it an 8 even. Christian
oh
Thompson 6.75. Gotta say, Christian, you've been kind of rough lately, and I love it. Like
yeah, I
everything they
can't
write, I
ever.
agree with. Sorry, go ahead.
I just can't ever remember a time that I've ever rated a pay per view that low from Impact. I don't know if that's a Mark thing or or whatever, but I don't know. I've never thought any of their shows have been that low, and I still continue to think they're not that low.
Yeah, it's funny. I usually never go below 7, like for specials. But I don't know. But then I read like Christian stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
they
he
don't
does
lie.
have a lot
Like they
of good.
don't lie about anything. Like it's,
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right. Maybe I thought like some matches I did
maybe he's
think were
just not.
better.
You think it's a case of him maybe not feeling the product right now?
No, I don't know. I think they're just crazy honest. And
Yeah.
like I thought the first few matches were okay, but like they kind of picked them apart a little. And I'm like, that was right.
Well,
Like
to be fair, I did feel that the first quarter of the pay per view was kind of
well,
lackluster for.
that's like literally exactly what they said. Like it started off pretty. David messaged me during the show, like I hope it gets better. I'm
Oh,
like, oh yeah, relax, it will.
okay. So I wasn't the only one
So
feeling.
like EY and Kaz, did you like? Like I thought that was totally lame. I don't like EY getting a title shot out of nowhere again after they had the briefcases and all because it's just random. Who the hell did EY beat recently? That matters. But I did absolutely love the Kazarian beating the piss out of this referee. Nobody came out, and now they're making an angle about it where the referee is tweeting like that management should do something, and then Kaz is going back like you're a baby. Looking, you had your 15 minutes. Shut up. This might have been my favorite thing from the pay per view.
Well, actually, I think probably one of my favorite things coming out of the pay per view was Eric Young's speech to kick off the pay per view that we didn't actually get to see.
Oh
Very
yeah.
oh,
Oh yeah. Good call. How it is that.
dedication to the from the roster to him and all the love they were showing, in his statement at the top of the ramp. Mad respect for Eric, especially after that speech. So,
Totally. I don't know. I don't know. I was going to say I wish you did it sooner, but I'm
oh
sure you
yeah,
know better than me about timing and all.
yeah.
Maybe like, rally up the troops before this big show. And I mean, listen, it's got to be weird for these people. You know what I mean? Like they just lost this guy who they're literally still fighting to get back. A lot of them. It's a weird situation where like maybe not everyone's going 100%. Like I don't know. But okay, like what would you? I don't know. Did you think that was a very good match? A good match, like to start the show?
The match with Kaz and
Yeah.
um, to be fair, was definitely probably not one of their more memorable.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then I
You know,
think that
I don't know.
have a
Maybe it was like maybe it shouldn't have went. You said it kicked off the show. I couldn't remember if it was on the pre-show. That's
yeah
why
no
I
yeah
thought it would show
I
out.
I get confused with that. I also
Yeah,
like I also like that Thompson doesn't do the pre-show like as part of the regular thing because I'm really confused about that. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how you're supposed to. I don't know how you're supposed to grade that. Like, but just going to the pre-show quick. Your favorite Trent Seven and Mike Bailey lost to the Rascals, right?
Well, yeah. At this point, heading into this, I
Oh, I'm
had
sorry. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, they won.
well, heading into the results of the kickoff, the pre-show, I was wrong on both ends. I thought Kaz would pick up the win because
Wait, no,
he was.
sorry, that was the Cavs was the first match on the real show.
Oh, okay, that's why. That's what I.
Yeah, the pre-show was Seven Bailey versus the Rascals, and then
Oh, okay.
Kushida, Knight, and System.
Yeah, I didn't think it was part of the pre-show. I was like, but maybe that's why it started off really poor for me because like I don't think I would have
You
kicked off.
hate Trent Seven.
Well, that and I don't get the pairing of Speed Mountain like I don't really think they have a lot of like charisma together. Like you got this
No,
guy
they
that's
don't.
like a chiseled veteran, and then you
Yeah.
got the kid that like
Yeah, it's a weird
wrestles.
look. I mean, they did have a few moves that were cool because it was like
Yeah,
Billy would do it quick and Seven would do like a power thing.
I do think Seven has a very good like he is very good at chopping and hitting people. It seems like it's pretty
Yeah, and
right.
he had some nice power moves. I mean, the guy's a good wrestler. Maybe needs to lose 20, 30 pounds or something. I don't know. No offense, but it's kind of weird seeing a gut on wrestlers for me.
Maybe try
Um,
hair, maybe or go with the bald look or something.
yeah, or just I don't know. Maybe have a different colors. Maybe you could do something with that. I don't know. I would love to have that much hair. I'd have a goddamn field day. But then there was the System versus Kushida and Knight, and like I was wrong about a lot of things. I don't know. My big problem with this show was nothing crazy happened. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we had mentioned that. Like, I mentioned that I thought at some point during that match with Josh Alexander and Gotch, I thought for some reason we'd see a Fatu jump the ring apron or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, I thought we need. Yeah, I think it needed like just anything. Like even
Yeah, yeah. I
I-
kept feeling. There's like, what is it? There was a faction in MLW called Contra
yeah.
that had two members. So I thought maybe we might see that with him being a free agent. That would have been a pretty cool TNA moment, I
Well, how
think.
about just a tease? Like
Yeah,
me and Robles literally make these where you
yeah,
just tease something at the end, like tease another member. You don't have to do it next week. You could do it down the line. Like we love teases. We talked about that shit for how long when WWE dropped all those people. All
look,
right, so just back to this pre-show: Kushida Knight. I'm sorry, System defeated Kushida and Knight, and the heels won the pre-show, which was interesting.
yeah, I was very like confused about this too because I kind of thought we'd go with the faces here because, like
Yeah.
you had. Kushida hasn't really gotten any kind of a win,
Oh
and
my
then
God, terrible.
Kevin Knight. I mean, everyone like I'm seeing people all over the place. So it's like this guy's so talented, and
Yeah.
like to book him like yeah, you almost kind of treat him like back in the day with WWE, SD Jones. I don't know if you remember him, Special Delivery
Oh yeah.
Jones.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was at
Very
a
good
show.
wrestler.
I was at a show. King Kong Bundy killed him in 3 seconds. It was the record at the time.
Oh, okay, yeah, that big squash match back in the
Yeah,
day.
I
But
was
you know
literally
what?
there.
But you know what I mean? Like he's a very talented wrestler, but yet you don't give him anything really to a win or
Exactly. That's that's a lot of people on the roster. And like we've been like they need to sign more people. Then I was looking at it, I'm like, fuck that. They need to use everyone better. Like
well
Jake
and
something should not be in the X division. Jesus
well
Christ. They need
well,
tag teams. Stick
well
anyone with him.
and the thing is, as of late, it seems like they're booking the system to like the the booking rate is like they haven't lost. I don't think they've lost anything yet, have they?
Well, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I
I
like
mean, I am to a degree, but like, I mean, like, you're supposed to be having Kushida and
oh
Kevin
yeah, no,
Nunn.
I agree. Yeah.
You know
I
what I
would have
mean? You should at least get some kind of a
Yeah, it's a tough spot because you can't have them beating the good hands. They kind of have to look legit,
yeah.
and I think they are cheating most of the way. No,
What's that?
and I think they have been cheating most of the time with their
Oh
wins.
yeah, they definitely have, but like, I don't
I
know.
mean, I was laughing in the Moose match. I really enjoyed that one too. and I made fun of it, the stipulation, but like there was so much shit going on in that match. It was, I don't know, I just thought it was a lot of fun.
The only thing I
So,
didn't like the Moose match is I thought he kept kind of selling the leg injury a little too much. Don't know
yeah,
if you,
there was another stupid sell on this. I forget what it was. Another problem with, one thing I liked was, um, Larry, our producer, made fun of it, but when Shelley got his hand stuck in the turnbuckle, what'd you think about that? Stupid or interesting?
I don't
I was kind of
know.
frozen in
So
between. I was frozen in between.
I kind of like I felt like they spent a little too much time out there
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
fair. Yeah, do it
I
once, not
don't know.
twice. Yeah, yeah, do it one time. They did it twice,
Oh,
maybe
did
three.
they? Didn't even
Or
know. I mean, I knew they were out there a while, but I just kind of
yeah,
felt
yeah, they did it multiple times, and there was there was so many cool things, like Eddie pulling the stick out of Shelley's hand, which was okay because you could, like, if he touched Shelley, he would have got thrown out of the match. You know what I mean? But
oh
he just pulled the thing out of his hands. That's not interference, which, I mean, it kind of is, but I guess they made the rule that you can't touch each other.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about throwing the towel. Somebody had mentioned because coming out of this match that they think this is going to be full turning heel
Oh, totally, totally.
with with Alex Shelley because he's going to be blaming Kushida because he threw the towel in.
I mean, I guess that could still happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Kushida did throw the towel in. I don't know. I thought there would be a heel turn here or something. I mean, I guess Shelley and Kushida will be interesting, and
Oh
they do
yeah.
have a match set up. Not sure if it was announced yet, but they are the time splitters, so they will be tagging. So I'm guessing that's where we're gonna go. It's gonna be them tagging, but having the whole maybe not trusting
Oh,
thing.
okay. Yeah, I could see him at some point, like during the
Yeah.
match, jump down off the
It's like
ring.
instead of him just turning, you know what I mean? They're actually gonna do this slow and make them a tag team, like something we've talked about.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense because currently Chris Sabin is kind of busy with his the X Division title. I'm not
Oh
gonna.
God, yeah, we should have led with that. Mustafa Ali.
Oh,
How good is that son of a bitch?
well, you told me he could hang, and I was kind of skeptical because I didn't really know nothing about him. But coming out of that, I mean, he came off like kind of like our version of Vikingo to me. I don't know.
Oh, he was fantastic. He was, yeah. I mean, like, I knew he was good just from honestly mostly reading about him being good from like so many people. Like,
Yeah, I was very
usually
impressed.
not that many people agree. Like Thompson said, great main event and deservedly closed the show. Um, Paul loved it. This was really good, and they nailed the big moment at the end. Ali has been built up as a huge deal, and now has finally won something to make himself validated. Like, he's literally never won a title in his life. This guy.
Really, Ali has never won it. Not nothing in the WWE like NXT or anything.
Nope. That was like a big
Uh,
reason of the free Ali kind of thing. Like,
how did he ever like? How did they ever let such a talent go?
well, I don't know how he didn't win that. What the hell was it? 450s? Whatever, 310, fucking 210. Remember that show they had where it was the number of the.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the weight limit thing
Yeah.
or what?
I don't know how he didn't win that fucking thing unless it was weird timing and he was on the main roster or something. But goddamn, this was incredible. And once again, like Chris Sabin, how many matches of the year has he been part of in the last 2 years?
I
Half of
know,
them.
incredible. To think that he can, this guy's had what, two torn ACLs, I believe. Might have been separate legs. I'm not sure.
And I think
Uh,
he still comes off as underrated.
yeah, and I mean, if you know, I mean, I get that Ali's got the rub from WWE, but like, I couldn't believe like the fans weren't like,
I know. I totally agree. Yeah. I mean,
I think he was a little surprised too,
yeah.
when, when he kind
I
of
mean,
looked.
I think Saban was too. He gave a look like, "Wow,
Yeah,
this is my house."
yeah, like you know what I mean. I don't know. I definitely think he's very underrated, Saban.
But also, maybe TNA knew something that a lot of us didn't, who were complaining about the main event. Mustafa Ali was the most over person on this show. Maybe the most. I mean, probably
yeah.
definitely the most known person on this show. Fans fucking loved it. It's the most talked about thing coming out of the show. So it
Well, I
worked.
was totally happy with them actually booking the X division as the main part of the show too, because
Oh
how
yeah,
long
that's true. Yeah.
they've kind of put the X division in the forefront. So I mean, if the creative under this new like refined regime is it's very indicative of what went on at No Surrender. I
I
think we're
mean,
good hand.
but I have a huge but to throw in here. Jake something was shown watching the match before it began. Like, basically saying he's the number one contender and he's gonna get the winner or whatever. Which in this case, I guess I'm not that mad because I really don't think he's gonna beat Mustafa, and that could be a fun match. Him losing to Mustafa, but like I'm just like seeing Jake something in the X division. Like it just, I don't know. I feel like it takes a point off of everything.
Yeah, only thing I'm thinking is they're booking it for it'll be just another victim to Ali is all I'm thinking. Maybe.
Or what will be interesting was he joins Ali's kind of faction, and he's like the fucking meathead that helps him out.
Yeah, kind of like any '80s movie
Yeah.
ever.
I
Yeah,
thought this was weird. Why was Ash by Elegance at the at ringside of that match when she did absolutely nothing? And again, I have to say, you got to get what's his name. You got to get Iceman away from her, man. He doesn't know how to do anything but scream at the top of his lungs. It is such a bad fit.
yeah. All I could think of, Jay, is there was. I don't know if they were concerned of lack of time about getting everybody on the show, but Iceman as a concierge for her is just it's still really creepy for me. I don't
Yeah, it
know
is. Yeah.
what you think, but I don't know.
Somebody mentioned that when she came out, not Hannah fan, but Raywald said something really creepy, and I totally missed it. But I don't know. Like I agree. Like he feels creepy, and then like Raywald talking about her feels creepy. Like I don't know. It's a weird
Oh
thing.
yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
anyone who's listened to me knows I'm a big thing on like sex sells and all that. It totally does,
Yeah.
and I love this character. I mean, this character being super hot is totally good enough already. But like, I don't know why she was out there. That was just like so random. Like, give her something in the like, show
Well,
her, let her be like Jake something in the back with her legs up, watching the match.
well, did you catch Jordan Grace blowing her a kiss and that offended her? Which
Oh yeah,
that kind of
I mean,
indicates what's probably going to be happening at some
yeah.
point.
I mean, I was yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm cool with that. If they kind of build her slowly, which it seems like they're doing, they're not just rushing into. I feel like they normally would have rushed into her against Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even give her the goddamn title. But speaking of that. Well, if we didn't announce it, Moose versus Eric Young at Sacrifice. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
we might want to add it's really soon too. Like there's almost no
Yeah,
build.
that I fucking hate that, man. I don't. I wish they
Well,
would
the thing,
just.
okay, and after that, it's another 5 weeks before we get. So we're going to be at a long dry spell without a live show.
It's
So,
weird, but I mean, I don't know.
you
Do we need these? Do we need this many live shows?
know,
Maybe
I'm
make.
honestly in the boat where I do like a monthly, but like not booked like 2 weeks of after something we just
That's what I mean. I feel like it's if it's monthly, they have to get it that close sometimes because
yeah
months are weird. Like February,
yeah
it's got
that's fair.
29 days for the first time in 4 years. Life doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, got to give it to Giselle, who I've given a lot of crap, or at least Scott, for her shit booking. The fact that she lost every title match she's ever been in, and she got another one here for God knows what reason. And she had an incredible match. She did an awesome
Would
Spanish
you?
fly.
I would honestly say it's probably her greatest match in a TNA ring since she's
Oh yeah,
been.
I mean, gotta give a lot of it to Jordan, who's one of the best
Oh
fucking wrestlers
yeah.
on the planet. That's not in WWE. Maybe even counting WWE. This was 11 minutes, very good. I mean, much better than I thought, except the fact that Jordan was just in the goddamn Rumble hanging with the top girls and should have killed Giselle based on booking.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would have thought it would. More or less, I don't know if they were trying to just more or less push the narrative that Giselle doesn't have her stable no more, and like that was her true weakness. And
Yeah.
I still feel like something's going to be brewing between Gail, Kim, and her at some
Oh,
point.
damn you. Jesus, you're in my head. I talked about that with Robles last night. I said, you know what? They're going to pull this back to the fucking Gail Kim thing, and she's going to turn face if she. And I said, but here's what they're never going to do. They would have to take her off TV for a little. And guess
Yeah,
what? She didn't appear at the tapings.
yeah, that's what you said. I was sort of surprised with the way that exchange with Gail was.
Bit of a recording problem there, so Gonna have to stitch that together or some shit. So we were talking about Gail Kim and how we believe they're gonna go back to that, which I don't know, what was that, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, she had mentioned like prior about the Shantaraj being her downfall, and then
Yeah.
like they revisited it again at the No Surrender pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, special
Before
event.
the match.
Uh, yeah, like prior to I don't know if it was like right before the match or if it was like a backstage segment at some point in the night.
Okay, that's interesting. And yeah, I do think I mean, I'm not sure if this part got cut off, but she was not at taping for 2 weeks, and I said, like, the only way this could work is you got to take her off TV for a little bit and then have her return, and then she's a face.
Oh
Or
yeah.
does she disappear because of her involvement with Scott? I'm gonna say no because she had some sick gear last night. But also maybe you get gear, maybe. But she can also wear that elsewhere, so I don't know.
Well, the thing is, like, really, where is she gonna really go at this point? Because like a lot of the rosters are pretty much stacked on both main promotions. She's probably going to get lost in the shuffle in either company.
Oh no, I don't think. I mean,
I suppose maybe she could go wrestle at MLW, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wanted to say, like, no offense, but yeah, there's offense. She couldn't get a job at WWE. That's insane.
Yeah.
They have 50,000 girls better than her and like much younger. And honestly, not sure how old Giselle is, but they have. Hang on, let me Google it right now. Giselle's 35 years old. That's like 12 years older than most people in NXT. It just is. I mean, I'm not calling her old. I mean, I'm 40 something. It is what it is. WWE has psychotically, ridiculously young people. It's like they pump out these fucking like model wrestlers. I don't know. It's another world. Whatever. So where are we? Back to. So yeah, that was a very good match. Um, Definitely her best match, like you said.
It definitely
And
exceeded
Jordan
my
West.
expectations.
Yeah, me too. I didn't think I would be paying attention, and then I was like, "Holy shit! She just did a fucking that fucking what do you call it?"
Yeah, that's fly. I mean, like, I don't know. I just got kind of cringed from her
Yeah,
trying it because, like, we all know what happened to Brian Cage back in the day.
yeah,
Was it Slammiversary, I think, up in Canada, where he did
yeah.
it off the ramp, and then his back was never the same. So, I mean, to have a couple knockouts partake in that, I mean, just tells the athleticism in our women's division.
Yeah, definitely. Just need a few more of them, or push Tasha where she belongs. And the Grizzly Veterans versus ABC. I feel like this was pretty obvious. I don't know. I don't know about you. And this was another very good match and a lot of time. And I'm gonna guess this is probably a lot of people's match of the night. If you like really long, great matches.
Yeah.
I'm more,
Oh,
I'm more, I'm more of a 12-minute story match guy.
well, I definitely like the longer match, but I for some reason felt like they kind of hinted at one. I don't know if it was the go home show for No Surrender or if it was on the pay per view, but they had mentioned that I believe they said that ABC, this is their longest reign as tag team champion. And I kind of thought that kind of sent up a red flag to me. Like they were
Yeah,
trying to swerve us into thinking maybe that GYV
yeah.
would actually win. And I had them picked to win only because I thought maybe going into the set of tapings, we maybe had come to some kind of agreement, like we had give them a contract, and I was expecting that. And there was nothing that transcended from it. So I guess it's just me,
I
I don't know,
I
little
love
out
I
there.
love it. I love ABC, but like I don't know, they've been champs this long. Like, does it feel like it? Like, what the hell memorable feuds have they had?
Yeah, like maybe back in the day with the Good Brothers.
What I mean, like I was thinking, I honestly thought the Rascals were champs in the last few months, and they kind of switched back. I guess I was totally wrong about that.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Rascals, we missed this. Another one of my favorite parts of the pay per view. Steve Macklin coming out and fucking shit up in the pre-show.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think.
He basically won the match for the Rascals.
Oh yeah, and I like that they're going forward with this because I mean, you couldn't get two further types of character developed
Yeah.
talent than Steve Macklin and the
Macklin
Rascals.
is
And
Macklin is fantastic and works with
he can
anyone.
work with anybody. Yeah, yeah.
And also, I mean, I forget the actual timing of this, but was this Macklin paying them back? Because didn't they help Macklin?
Yeah, I think there was some method to what you're saying. I
Like there
can't
was this.
remember.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly,
Like,
but
it
there's
might
something
be a
there.
week before maybe the tapings.
Yeah, like
One of
there was. I don't remember
yeah.
exactly, but I think there was something there where Macklin helped them, or they had a conversation recently on Impact. But whatever, you can all
Yeah.
figure that out. Let us know in the comments if. Um, but yeah, I love that. Man, Macklin is a fantastic character. He kills it. I mean, he's talking great, good about the company all the time. Total company guy. Even if he ends up leaving, like I never mind if people leave. If you're like Trinity, she killed it. She fucking killed it. She was a company person. She never did the, oh, I can't wait to go back to fucking WWE. Like, fucking, what's his name? Literally still says every goddamn day of his life while he's sticking up for
Yeah. And,
Scott D'Amore, who he didn't even want to work for. Who am I talking about? The Indie
huh?
God. Who am I talking about? The Indie God. What the hell's his fucking name?
Indy.
He was on
No.
TNA. He's not really an Indie God. Zack Ryder.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He made a big deal sticking up for Scott, but dude, why aren't you signed with them? Why wasn't he with them? He'd rather be the fucking Indie God. Like, I just hate when people do the opposite of what they say. And whatever. Here's a match that pissed me off just for being there. Khan versus PCO.
Yeah.
This is an
Yeah.
impact.
I don't know. I didn't really like the exchange towards the end of their encounter at the top of the
I
ramp.
hated every minute of this.
But that like that whatever you want to call it, I can't think of what it's called. Like that. Um, it's like a string, but like zip tie. He zip tied him to the tunnel, and I'm like, it was just like so awkward because you were waiting for more to happen, and he just kind
Yeah.
of like Khan was off in the distance, just like looking at him. I just thought that awkward silence was kind of felt like the two didn't really like they didn't really
It
work
was like
this
something was
like
missing or something.
yeah, like they didn't really know how to wrestle each other too good to me. I don't know, and that wasn't a knock on PCO. Maybe he felt the same, that he was kind of an awkward talent for him to wrestle.
Yeah. I mean, also it was short, so not bad because it was short,
Yeah,
which is fine. And like Thompson says, this was far better than the match I guessed, and it. Wait, sorry. I guess it leads to a stipulation match soon. Yeah, probably. Now that I'm cool with. Put them in. What do you call it? What's that goddamn monster?
Monster.
Monsters Ball. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bring back Monsters Ball. Christ. Bring back Heart. Bring back stipulation. Bring back.
yeah. Just as
Mickey,
long as you
whatever.
don't stick them in a Punjabi prison
Hey, I'll
prison
take that.
thing.
I'll take that at this point. That's how few friggin'. I mean, I want a
Yeah,
cage. I need something. Jesus.
yeah.
Okay. TNA Knockouts tag. This one I had no clue. It went 8 minutes. Slamovich counted a spear attempt. Hit Rosemary with the snowplow, which kind of find it odd how Rosemary usually loses most of these. Um, um, sorry, Christian writes, I find the case sloppy and not entertaining at all, as I have written about many times in the last 18 months. So, jeez.
Who's
Christian's
that,
great.
Johnson?
That's Chris. That's
Christian
Chris.
Thompson?
Yeah, talking about.
I think he's definitely spot on with that. I've noticed that a lot too. I kind of feel like Havoc has kind of been kind of carrying him for a while.
Yeah,
Uh, and I
Rosemary
do
mailing.
feel,
Rosemary
yeah,
mailing it
like
in, maybe.
I do definitely feel like the matches they're kind of skippable a lot because like it
And
kind of feels like
they
they do the
quickly took the
same
titles
moves.
off them.
Yeah, and they don't do anything. They don't add anything to the repertoire in the ring.
Yeah,
they don't like do
they don't
anything
like.
different. It seems like
Yeah,
it's the same stuff.
they're not growing. They didn't. They never grew as anything. Probably because they decided to be two stupid characters for no reason at all for a year, just to make some people in the back laugh, probably, and possibly destroy the character of Rosemary forever, who was one of the most over people in the entire fucking company. People would chant
Well, I think
Rosemary. Remember that? Remember,
I
remember
think
that? Remember the Rosemary chants
yeah.
every time she came out?
Well, the thing is, I think her reveal of her coming out as Courtney Rush, I think that character could have worked in an NXT
Oh yeah, it
or
was
something, you
confusing.
know, or
I said, if you're not paying
yeah, and like
attention, you might have thought, where did Rosemary go? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and
Like,
like
not
it's
everyone is a
I
nerd
don't
that
know,
knows everything.
it totally wasn't set for, you know, it wasn't ideal in an Impact ring or TNA ring to
Plus,
just ditch the Rosemary character because
eh,
like she's so loved,
crazy.
and you know her merch was flying off the shelf, and
And I mentioned this before, but every signing she does is Rosemary. She would never do a signing as Courtney Rush because nobody would want to pay for that shit. So I don't know if that was her. I mentioned maybe there was something to Scott, like I don't know, maybe possibly kind of not putting out his best shit because he thought maybe he would end up with the company, but I don't even believe any of that, so I don't know what to believe. I do know that MK Ultra's champions again, and that's nice. We fucking love MK Ultra over here, and I really like using
oh
him
yeah.
as background because I'm kind of in love with Killer Kelly. Um, and Christian, this match automatically gets a pass because the K lost. Now Threat and Luna can challenge MK Ultra, and we can have a face heel dynamic. Yep, totally agree. They're setting that up, but that's also a problem. Like once a team, you know your division sucks. If once one team loses, you know who the next team getting the title shot is.
Well,
You know
I
what I mean?
thought it was already
There's three teams.
yeah, I don't think
Well,
the K should have won the title from MK Ultra to begin with anyway, like back when
I
they
know.
did do it,
I think they
you know,
realized
and
that.
we thought
I think they realized they
MK
fucked up,
yeah, they definitely did.
or
Like
that was a Scott
they
move, and somebody quickly was like, "Nope, that shit don't work."
yeah.
I mean, MK Ultra was the hottest fucking thing when they came upon the scene, and they should be. They're awesome. They're hot. I mean, leading one of them to the ring in a goddamn chain, like that's hot as fuck, and like whatever. And now we got to stop by, shockingly, one of the most possibly boringest matches to me, Josh and Gotch, which was 16 minutes long. Um,
Oh, well,
Christian gave it three
didn't think
stars and said that's probably a generous rating, but they did work hard. That was one of the least exciting Alexander matches I can recall. I mean I kind of zonked out, or I just wasn't paying attention after like five
well
minutes.
that or I would honestly say there was at least another match that was a Josh Alexander and Cody Deaner.
Oh yeah, well,
That was probably,
was that a pay per view or
but
special?
that set the bar pretty low.
Oh yeah, well, no need to invoke the name Diener. Um, I think we did miss him on the pre-show though, but yeah, he was part of that. For was he? Am I crazy?
Oh,
Am I crazy? Oh yeah, it was.
uh,
Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, people. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Oh wait, no, it was a System versus Kushida and Knight, and then the Rascals versus Seven and Bailey. So I don't know what the hell I'm thinking about.
oh, maybe you're
Um.
thinking of stage thing with AJ Francis and Rich Swann.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What was that? That was on the show, right?
Deaner in there. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that
that was
was
on.
after the Gotch and Alexander match.
Yeah. Again, I'm confused. I
Maybe he was
still
there.
think
Maybe Deaner was there.
because I still keep going back to that time when Swan was seemed like he walked off with AJ, or I don't know, maybe I was stoned and they went different ways, but I still think he's gonna. I still think he's gonna turn. I mean, AJ Francis and Cody Deaner, like, what the fuck is that?
I
That's
mean, at this
random.
point, really, what does Rich really have to embrace? I mean, I would honestly, I think I would join AJ
Oh yeah,
Francis.
totally.
I mean, look
I mean,
at
yeah.
Rich's career.
Oh,
It's
totally.
like, you know,
Kayfabe.
one of
Yeah, like kayfabe. I mean, yeah. Why the fuck not? What else am I doing?
yeah,
I think
like
we
you
hit on
just got
every
beat up.
match there. Well, what'd you think about Gotch? Nothing.
I did.
Absolutely nothing, like most people.
I'm not big on him, but I will give him huge credit here. He looked like he looked ripped. Uh,
Yeah, and he hits hard.
and Gotch, he was kind of flabby, and no knock on him, but like he wasn't very in ring shape in MLW, and like I do kind of like this rivalry, but I guess I guess it's coming to an end. I mean, because where do you go from here? Josh
Yeah, no, he
already
would have
beat
had.
him.
Yeah, he would have had to win this match. I don't even think he signed.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's at the tapings, but we can get to that in a minute. Once we get
yeah,
to the main event, which nope, sorry, we did the main event. Once we get to the world title match, where Moose got the win over Shelley. Well, we kind of talked about this. I just really loved like the little things that they did, like Moose tying Shelley's hand and like the system just like fucking, and they were just fucking with Shelley in so many different ways, but they didn't get thrown out, and I just loved that. And
yeah.
then,
It's
but I don't
definitely
know. I thought it'd be more interesting ending, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like with
well.
throwing in the towel part.
You mentioned going into this, you've never really bought Shelley as a world champion, and like maybe that was the problem you were having here. I did feel like the match at times was kind of, I don't know, just kind of like nothing really
Too much.
new, like fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we just seen it prior. He had beat Shelley with the help of I think the system, right? Isn't that how
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, I just
and
thought. I mean, I did like Moose fucking almost murdering him at the end with the multiple spears, and then Kushida throws in a towel, and Moose speared him again just to be a dick. I
but
love heel Moose, and like Moose just doesn't he come off as a champion like just more like the guy's fucking enormous and he's jacked. He could slide in WWE and look like what I mean, fit with that roster, and not many
well, that's
could
what
based on size.
that's what I mentioned a few weeks, quite a few weeks back now that I mentioned that Moose looked to me more impressive than Okada.
Well, that's a crazy one, but I mean, yeah, at that match, I mean, I don't know, man. I fucking love Moose. Like I find him incredibly interesting. Like he's a monster, but he can do like all kinds of moves. He's a great character, and I think he's a giant step up from Shelley. So that's another big win here. And is there anything else?
Uh, might want to mention tonight's podcast is brought to all of you and to us as the channel for the movie The Follower, starring Chloe Dumas and Nicholas Shake. Things are not what they seem. Currently available on Roku channel.
So you're gonna say Nick Lachey.
To be. I might mention Nicholas Shake in the movie. Looks very much like an Adam Driver. And I did a review for this going on 2 weeks ago. If you want to take a hop on over to the other channel and listen to it and give it a listen or whatever. It either way, a view is appreciated too.
Okay, really fast. Spoilers for Bayou Blast, which took place the 25th, and will be the next 2 weeks of tapings. Really quick. Macklin pin. Wait, ready? Spoiler. Get the hell out of here. Well, I just said it. So Steve Macklin pins Spinball Bailey. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Nick
yeah,
Nick
there we
Nemeth
go.
appeared on Tron and said he won the New Japan title and will defend it against Macklin at Sacrifice. Shit, I didn't even read that totally. So we're getting a New
Oh
Japan
yeah,
title defended at Sacrifice. Jake
yeah. We
something
might want.
defeated. Sorry, go ahead.
We just might want to mention too that the sacrifice tapings are the sacrifice events taking place up in Canada, I believe in Ontario.
Possibly where we see the return of Allie. Jake something pinned
Mike.
Laredo Kid because why not? AJ Francis and Diener defeated Swan and Hendry. There was a championship ceremony for Mustafa Ali. The good hands were with Ali. Saban came out and ran down Ali and said he likes to talk, but Saban is a man of action, and I got to stop there because, bro, you lost last night. What? 2 nights ago. What are you saying? Did you not watch the match? He's a man of talk. Like, whatever. He
Yeah,
gets triple teamed, and Kushida and Knight made the save. But I hate when things don't make sense like that. Like it's just
yeah.
it's stupid.
Like the unbeatable, and got beat fair and square. He
Yeah.
didn't get any.
Unless
He just
he's being like a bitch about it, which would be interesting. Like again, I'm reading this on like maybe he's being a bitch about it, which would be interesting and kind of could change this whole thing, or he's the heel.
yeah
You know
maybe.
what I mean? And then you have Shelly be a bitch too. Like But whatever, we'll see.
Yeah,
Moose,
the
Myers, and
bitch goes.
Edwards. I mean, yeah, it could be totally interesting. Moose, Myers, and Edwards defeated ABC and Eric Young. That's a little lazy because Edwards and Myers might get that next title match against ABC, and Moose is fighting Eric Young, so that's to stick them all together. Absolutely hate this. Jody Threat pinned Killer Kelly, who just won a goddamn title. Crazy Steve pinned Rhino. I feel like that should be it with Rhino in that. I mean, how many times is he going to lose? Mustafa Ali pinned Kevin Knight. The Good Hands, Kushida, and Sabin got involved. Shelley saved
Oh,
off.
God. Another
Um,
Kevin Knight. I don't know if I
yeah.
can handle it.
He's basically part of the opposing
New
side of
Japan.
Ali and
Oh,
his crew, which is, I guess, the Good Hands, which, I don't know. Yeah. Ash by Elegance won a squash. I'm cool with that. She probably, but no, I mean, would have been nice if she had maybe an in-ring segment or something on the other week. The Time Splitters defeated the Good Hands, so that's interesting. Those two are back. Danny Luna defeated Masha Slamovich, and again, what the god damn. And that just means they're going to lose again. But this is such bad booking that they're trying to make them look like there's a chance they can win based on 2 weeks, which I just hate that shit.
I mean, I sort of get it only because they're kind of pushing her as a powerhouse, but then they went
I
and
get it,
stuck
but
her
have both of them lose during the tapings?
yeah, like the
Have,
meaning tag team.
have
You know what
one
I mean?
champ. I mean, if you have to have one champion lose during the tapings, have one champion lose during the tapings, not two of them. That's just ugh.
Yeah.
And it's not even there wasn't even a tag match with them. So for 2 weeks, the tag champions are just going to lose singles matches. Ugh,
I don't know.
whatever,
Somebody agreed.
drop the fucking titles already.
They're liking to push the initiative for Danny Luna. No knock on her. I really like her as a wrestler, but
No, I like Danny. I like
she's
Danny a
new.
lot.
Yeah, and she's new and kind of slowly build her. Don't build her into an unstoppable killing machine.
Yep, I agree. She shouldn't be feeding fucking Masha Slamovich, who's seen as even bigger as Kelly, but whatever. Then an in-ring segment with Moose and EY going back and forth. Big fan of that. The System attacked, but ABC made the save, so seeing a lot of that friendships going on. And then your boy Trent Seven defeated Trey Miguel. Guessing that's a what?
You said Trent Seven got the win over Trey Miguel?
Yeah, that's a true thing. Yeah.
Oh no!
Well, Gary was so surprised. He thought I was just lying about that. No.
Oh man. Oh.
But that also might be a what's the word? The other show. Not Impact. Not Impact. What the hell's the other show? Explosion. That might be Explosion.
Oh. Okay.
Hopefully.
You're confused. I thought you were talking about a different.
Hopefully that's Explosion, and not many people see it, and it's not a real thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But again, that's leading to the same shit with, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna make Speedball Mountain look like they're better than they are by having them beat. Like, it's just lazy booking. It's like super fast. You know what I mean? It's like rushing through the booking. But whatever.
All I could think of is coming out of No Surrender, I guess, because like those guys, that version of the pre-show, like they didn't get the win, so I guess we give them the win on the Explosion and make it less.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
Or, I mean, I don't know. To be fair, 7 is kind of interesting. In a weird way. But it's still interesting, even though I feel like he belongs in more of one of your horror reviews than our reviews, but it is what it is.
I know he's under contract, but I was kind of surprised that he showed up because he was a really heavy Scott guy, so give him credit for.
Yeah. I don't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. I gotta put these 2 videos together because I broke one by hitting end call like an idiot by mistake. So we'll catch you next week, everyone. And Gary, you got anything?
We'll be back. We will be reviewing one more show. Actually, first set for this new set of taping. We'll be doing the one. And then I think the following week we do the pay-per-view sacrifice live from
I hate that because it looks like we're missing Impact, but like we're just not going to do 2 reviews when most people already forgot about that Impact.
Maybe on your quickie or something. Maybe like add, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a good
Maybe
one.
add something about that show that we missed, like or whatever. Kind of do a tidbit kind of thing, and then like you and Robles can break it down a little bit or whatever.
That's a good one, but don't you dare write my shows. Okay, everyone, have a good week.
Catch you next week.